Hello everyone and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Today we have two races. We have a race between Gammachuu and Schulzer for the AD Kisanity tournament. Today they are doing two games back to back and we are resuming both games. So our commentators will be Koi and James FNX, and our trackers will be Lady Loralinda and Joel. I hope I didn't butcher your name. So yeah, I'll let them handle everything right now. And thanks.
Thanks a lot, Alkaline Ace. Welcome in. Welcome to the quarterfinals of the AD Keys 2022 tournament. I am James FNX, and I'm joined today by Koi. Koi, how you doing?
Hi, I'm okay. It's early for me.
Yeah, we don't normally get content from you while the sun's up in the East Coast.
This is my sleeping time. But it's Friday, so no sleep, just drinking.
And we got a good one in for you here. As Alkaline said, we got a double header. This is game one of the best of three series between on the left Gammachuu, the number one seed coming into brackets from the Swiss, finished 6-0, defeated Obscure Lifeform in the round of 32 and P-Train in the round of 16. And on the right, we got Schulzer, had to scratch and claw to make brackets, went from 1-2 to 4-2, but then knocked off Goomba, one of the top runners, in the round of 32, and missed Ed 3 in the round of 16. So this should be a really good race. Two well-known, well-regarded runners in Rando.
Yeah, absolutely. AD Keys is it's an interesting mode, definitely. Most of the time, AD Keys is just the better player is going to win, right? Because if everyone full clears the game, the guy who does it faster is the winner. But it also has this very often, but not every time, a huge swing factor, typically near the end of the seed, where, like, oh, did you not check Graveyard Ledge and get that one single small key that you need to finish the game?
Yeah, this is, yeah, like you said, very often it's who can 100% the game the fastest, except that sometimes you get lucky and hit a check that your opponent decides to pull it off for whatever reason, and that causes bad things to happen sometimes. But both these
Yeah,
runners very, very good. Should be in for a very good show today.
compared to just a typical normal open 7-7 or something, like instead of 15 items you need to finish the game, there's like 30. It makes it very difficult to comfortably skip anything. But if you just do everything every time, it's difficult to win races. So I'm sure we'll see some gambles, and hopefully nobody ruins everything by making just the wrong skip.
Yeah, it really plays to how these runners choose to prioritize checks and kind of group things. 'Cause you're always trying to look and get your checks in as dense as possible. But sometimes that ends up leaving certain checks isolated, and that can cause big problems in this mode.
I believe RC will just be an open 80 keys this time. I know the runners were given opportunities to decide to play like boot start or inverted or something, but I believe this one's just open.
Yeah, and this is the basic mode. We start with the $20 in Link's house, but yeah, the all throughout the tournament, our runners have had the opportunity to do different things if they wanted to. I know Schulzer is a preferred inverted. I got the opportunity to play him in the Swiss. Um, Gamma deciding to just say leave it with the standard format. So here we are.
I think it's funny both players going for the Uncle Start here. You don't see Uncle Start as much in Key Sanity because it really like kind of messes up the early game routing because you're almost definitely going to have to go to the escape, where in a normal state, like, there's a good chance you'll never go to the escape if you don't have to. But at the same time, you have more value in going to Uncle Start because there's fewer opportunities to get bombs and money before going to Kakariko, because so many checks are going to be keys instead of resources.
Yeah, and like we have there a key to Desert Palace. It's a pretty important small key. It'll unlock a couple checks on logic. We did find a mirror as well in the chest in the Uncle Passage. Really good thing to have early in the game.
Yeah, Mirror is one of those items where you want to find it as early as possible or as late as possible. That is to say, never.
Yeah, the mirror unlocks a certain number of checks, and if you don't have a reason to find it early in the game, you just don't ever want to have to do those checks and add that add those checks. But they're very sparse; they're not particularly dense in any way.
So if you find it like late but not the latest, then you end up having like a bunch of locations that all became available at the same time, but they're all in different places, completely separate from each other.
Didn't quite catch what was on Lumberjack Ledge.
It looked like nothing. Pretty sure.
Well, that's good news
Maybe
for
rupees.
then.
Yeah, Lumberjack check, not everyone does it right away. Oftentimes you'll see players wait until they can pull it, like especially in this mode where you're going to kill Aga anyway. Or at least until you have the boots and you're in the area doing like bonk rocks.
Yeah, I can see making an early check though. That's a kind of knowledge that if especially if one of your very first checks is a Agham's Tower key. It wasn't in this seed, but if you have an AT key in one of your first 5 or 6 checks, I can really see going up there and getting that information.
The main value from checking it normally is if you see something hard required up there, then you don't have to be afraid of doing Aga. Like in a normal seed where you'd want to avoid doing Aga until you know for sure it's required. So you just know and you just go. But in 80 keys, like we already know, right? We already know it's required. We're gonna have to do Aga. So not quite as important to check it early, but you want to check it eventually. And Schulzer got it out of the way.
Definitely nothing for our runners in Blind's Hut. Again, it's gonna move on to the well.
I think that just a Mire key or something.
Yeah, big key from Mr. Mire, which is important. Do you need that one?
Yeah.
But no item progression.
Yeah, none of these items that don't do anything right now matter to us because both runners are going to do all these checks. So like the keys that we find here, they're not going to be a point of contention.
Skull Small, one Skull Small is pretty important. After that, they're kind of useless. Flute's very nice. Sword and Fire Rod. The well is stacked.
Yeah, tons of nice things here. Oh, well, that's really nice. We got some bombs right there. So Gamma is down to under 50 rupees, so he can't buy bombs. And he only had 1 bomb remaining. So really nice to get 3 bombs from the bottle merchant.
Yeah, worst comes worst, he can farm in the storehouse. It does take a bunch of time, though. Schulzer choosing to skip those 5 rupee pots and doesn't have enough money for the bottle vendor right now. It is only bombs, so that's not a big deal, but
I think that was just a mistake. I can't imagine why you wouldn't just pick up 1 pot. I mean, maybe he's thinking like, well, I don't want to spend the rupees right now because he wants to go buy bombs.
Yeah, and with the flute, you can get back to the bottle vendor very quickly, so I can see just putting that off.
Alright, spends his last bomb on the chicken house here. Gosh, I just can't imagine why he did that. Surely he'll buy bombs. Yeah, he's gonna buy bombs. Okay, yeah. So that makes sense. He didn't want to bank on getting bombs from the bottle merchant.
Right. And like I said, having that flute makes getting back to the bottle vendor once you have the cash for him much quicker than would be without. It's not putting yourself in a situation where you're isolating that check super hard. 300 rupees in the maze race, that's a nice pickup for Gamma.
Yeah, we might see Schulzer just fly immediately back to Kakariko after getting those rupees. Better investment for the 50. Well, the problem is he's going to buy the 3 as well. So
Yeah.
he's going to have spent 150 for 13 instead of 100 for 3. Oh, well, he's actually checking the item first, so maybe not going to get those rupees at all.
Nope, could only be.
Goodbye, rupees. Yeah, you saw Gamma do that blind. He didn't know what item was going to be there. He was just going to walk towards it and find out.
How often do you make that check blind?
And almost never anymore. I used to do it all the time. In Key Sanity, I think it makes a lot more sense, though. Because there's, like we said earlier, there's so many more items that you have to find out in the world. So it's a much higher chance than normal that that particular one is going to be something good.
Yeah, I know there are some runners that have biases as to doing that blind if Kakariko has nothing. Just because there has to be something in the Sphere Zero checks.
I would say, though, that if I had chosen to check it first, I would have gone back for the 300 in a seed where I've already skipped Bottle Merchant and I have 47 rupees.
Yeah. Do you see Tower Hera Small Key in Mini Moldworm Cave? That's a single check later on.
That's in Logic right now. We can go do that.
Yeah, we got this Fire Rod, we got a mirror, we got a flute. We can get up there.
I think there might be something in Hera Basement, chat. What do you think? It would not be surprising.
Gamma is willing to follow the breadcrumbs here. It's going to rescue the uncle in the dark. Schulzer also believes.
Well, I feel like with the flute, there's no reason not to just save the old man as quick as possible, just to get the save and quit point done. They don't necessarily have to climb the mountain after this, but I think at least one of them's going to do it.
Yeah, this is one of the very few checks where having boots doesn't really speed it up at all, because the old man doesn't care about your run speed.
Yeah, Gamma flutes away. It's nice to get the save and quit early like this, because there's lots of places where you'd like to save and quit out of, or you have to save and quit out of, like checking Zora or the back of Agina's cave right here. And having the mountain cave available means you can just go straight to the mountain afterwards and not have to have a flute in between, because you already did it.
And Schulzer is going to do the hair check and the spectacle rock checks.
This seems kind of aggressive for me to climb up to Hera already. We haven't seen Agina, we haven't seen Ice Rock Cave, we haven't seen Front of Escape, we haven't seen Sahasrala's Hut. All of these are checks you're almost definitely going to do eventually, right? Because it's 80 keys. And they don't have as big of a punish for doing them too early.
Right, and maybe due to having this flute and having a bit of mobility advantage than you would normally have in a seed, where you can get to Ice Rod Cave much quicker than you normally would. You can get to Agina.
Yeah, I think he's doing a follow the logic kind of play here.
Exactly.
All the items I have are pointing me to this, so I'm going to go to the place that has the thing. The problem with Rando is that oftentimes you can suss out where that place with the thing is, and then there were 2 other places that also had things that you walked past.
Nice bit of divergence here as we'll have Gamma taking a look at this first check in Hyrule Castle. It's the Flippers.
And that first check is in logic with nothing. That is Sphere 1.
Yeah, these 2 next checks for Gamma will not be launched without the Hyrule Castle small key.
Suddenly those rupees on race game seem really important. I mean, Schulzer knows the money's there, so if he really needs it, he can go get it. It's just a little inefficient.
Yeah, the best thing I think for Schulzer to find up here is a glove. Give him some incentive to not only check back escape.
Like a castle tower key would be really fantastic too, because
Yeah,
that's one thing that Gamma can't do while he's here, is that second chest at Castle Tower. Or the Hyrule Castle small key would be good as well. He can go all the way to the back. Something to make the front of escape dip better. Stalfos body blocking. Just 10 arrows in Hera Basement. Aw. Alright, so the trip up the mountain, not very lucrative there for Schulzer. The logic lied.
Yeah, neither of the two key lock chests in Escape very good either. It's going to spend that 100 rupees to get those bombs.
I wouldn't stress so much over like the time loss of Hair Basement, because I think it's pretty likely that Gamma's going to be doing that as well with how early the key was.
Yeah, there's no way you're skipping Hair Basement this early with as little as these runners have, and having that as like just a giant flashing sign saying, "Hey, this is a thing that you can do."
The time loss comes from the routing inefficiency. Like if he has to climb up to Hera again later, or if Gamma can do more things on his first climb. Looks like a big key to Thieves, if I read it right.
The Thieves Town big key and the Dark Cross chest in Logic with that fire rod.
Alright, Gamma is now completely out of bombs. And still doesn't have enough money for Zora.
And can't Houlihan because of those flippers. I like this from Schulzer. Do the Dark Cross first. Potentially set up a scumming the key and checking the back at some point before finding those gloves.
Oh, you think he's gonna scum the key?
Maybe, maybe not. It's something I like to do when
I don't know. Like sometimes it makes sense. I think in like entrance rando. I don't think I would ever do it in Key Sanity though. Because, like, you're going to get the glove. Like, the glove is coming, right?
Yeah, the glove is coming. I don't know. I have had experiences where this has been a good play for me, but it's rare when it is a good play. We do find the Big Key of Eastern Palace in the Manor of the Bridge.
Well, he's not death warping, so I don't think he's going to scum it. Because if he was planning to scum this key, he would death warp after getting required progression in Dark Cross, so he didn't have to re-grab it later.
Exactly.
Of course, that has required progression too, so...
Yeah. So the back escape will await us finding a glove at some point.
Alright, Gamma still not enough rupees for Zora. But looks like he's going to go after flipper checks anyway. He can go farm rupees. It is possible to go farm rupees, 30 rupees per trip from Blind Sat out, but it is very slow to do so. It just you stand to gain so much by just assuming that Zora is nothing and moving on with your life, right?
Yeah, exactly. We do find this Thieves Town small key, so nice to have both those keys in pocket before you get into the Dark World. That's one of those chests, that Thieves Town big chest, that can really put some stress on runners at times. We'll, of course, still need a hammer to completely alleviate all the stress, but good to have both those keys out of the way.
Definitely worth keeping in mind that the small key alone puts blind in logic. So just because we have the small key, it means that the hammer could be on or behind blind, and it could be a forced orphan of that big chest.
That's correct. And Schulzer is going to check this first chest of Agnes Tower.
Yeah, we didn't see this from Gamma, even though he did have the cape.
I don't remember how much magic Gamma had coming into this room, coming out of the back of Escape. Oh, that is huge.
Okay, well, if the boots do not lock Darkhold access, it might be a long time before we see Gamma with that, who did just find the hammer in the back of Saha's hut, which gives us access to East Death Mountain. I imagine that's where Gamma will go next.
And a couple pod smalls along with that hammer.
The boots aren't in logic? Where was the cape? Did we sequence break the cape?
The cape is on our own man. It is not
man, yeah, it's behind the lamp. You're right. That's really interesting. Gamma's actually going into Eastern instead of East Death Mountain. Also very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know
I
how
don't
I
know.
feel about
These
this.
guys seem to they can't make up their mind whether to play thoroughly or aggressively. both of them skip things that most people wouldn't skip, and then both of them are doing things that everyone would skip. I don't understand. But they're doing different things too. It's not even the same things.
Yeah, it's a very interesting routing so far from both these runners. Schulzer picks up that Eastern big.
That's very good that he did that before going into Eastern.
And back to the back, we'll get a look at Schulzer will get a look at the waterfall items pickup. The Thieves Town Small, and then we'll figure out where he's going from there. Probably the Eastern area.
It's surprising to me how willingly they're orphaning Zora. Like, Sahasrahla is pretty quick, right? Like, and you might get a 300 there, or a glove that would let you do Houlihan or something. But both runners decided that the flipper checks without Zora were better, and now Zora is kind of hard to get to.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Even if Gamma farms up rupees here in Eastern, he's not going to go straight to Zora.
No, you got an entire Death Mountain to go through first, but hopefully Gamma does remember the rupee room in here, does pick up some cash. Just to give himself some options after Death Mountain if it does happen to be on Zora.
I bet Schulzer goes to the Mount here after this instead of Eastern.
I would suspect he will as well.
I thought Gamma would already, though. So what do I know? Yeah, there's the quick swap to the flute. We got it. And last check in Eastern. Just some rupees. Almost enough for Zora.
Yeah, a lot of cash, no progression though in Eastern Palace.
I guess it makes more sense for Schulzer to orphan Zora though, because of how few rupees he has. Like, he's nowhere near enough.
Yeah,
but I mean, Gamma was just like,
yeah, he knows that's 300 maze race, but that's still 150 plus rupees away.
Yeah, Gamma was just like one nice pickup in a chest somewhere, and he would have been able to do Zora. Schulzer already did Hera, so he walks right on by.
Yeah, and I think Gamma's gonna get trapped into doing Hera basement here before heading over to East Death Mountain.
I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be fine to do East Death Mountain first, because you come back that way, right? Like, you go down Spiral and you just come up Paradox. So at the end of the East Death Mountain route, you're already on the top. So I think it's okay to put off Hera. He will be going inside there.
There's our glove. Our first glove is sitting in Spiral Cave.
All right, that is access to Houlihan at least, if nothing else, and we'll see Back of Escape for 3 checks. The closer we get to Darkhold access, though, the more worried I am about the boots for Gammachuu.
Yeah, that first chest in Hangman's Tower is getting further and further away with the more things we find.
If we don't find, if we find Darkhold access before he makes his way to that check, it's not going to be. It's going to be a while before he does it. Like, at the earliest he do it is mirroring from checking Pyramid or something.
Right. And there's our moon girl.
There it is.
Along with the sword
access.
and the mushroom in the back of Paradox Cave. So that's good news for Schulzer, bad news for Gamma. And Chad is pointing out that Master Sword puts those boots into logic.
Yes, that is very true. But unfortunately, the Hammer Glove Moon Pearl puts a lot more in logic, so Gamma is not going to beeline Egg Tower.
Schulzer checking Bonk Rock's going to do the back of escape. I guess there's no better time than now to do these back of escape checks.
Yeah, the first time you save and quit with a glove in hand. Always do back of escape.
TR big and a lamp.
Nice. Now it's really in logic to get those boots. It's extra logic.
So much logic. And
Gamma still won't do it. He's still gonna go other places. The boots really don't matter that much right now, but the longer we go, the more that will change. But still, it's not the end-all, be-all, right? Like, over the course of the whole seed, how long you didn't have the boots can easily be smaller than how long you went without the second Castle Tower key.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about 80 keys is that there are definitely opportunities to have boots be less of an impact than it would be in other modes. Swamp big and not much else in Hype Cave.
Oh, I thought he was going to go to Swamp for a second. Usually people dash over the top rather than through the grass. Gamma getting bullied by mini Moldorms. He's got his Dark World Access and his Master Sword, though.
A45 has anything in this seed? Nope.
Chad asks, is Spike Cave in Logic? Spike Cave is currently not in Logic because we have the cape, but we do not have a magic extension. With the cape, you need to have at least one extra source of magic, either through a bottle or half magic.
Yeah, that cape drains your magic meter a little bit faster than the Cane of Burna does. So, with Burna, it would just be the cane, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Burna, you only need a cane. You can do that on 3 hearts as long as you have a full bar of magic.
And digging up a dirty sword for Schulzer, getting that tempered sword out of the ground.
Yeah, nice find early, definitely. Not going to help anybody in Thieves Town, but pretty nice to have for Mothula, which I imagine we'll see Gamma do soon.
Yeah, we got that one Skull Woods small key already, so be able to nearly full clear Skull Woods, just be leaving that big chest behind. That one small key isn't required to get all the chests in Skull Woods, but it does make it so you're much less likely to not have to save and quit after clearing up the front.
Can't believe you didn't pick up that heart container. It was right there. It was 2 steps away.
Listen, sometimes you just gotta go fast.
I mean, once you have Tempered and Boots, nothing really matters anymore. Oh, nice mitts, though.
Mitts in the lobby of Skull Woods.
Mitts are definitely a thing you want to find. Maybe not right this second, though. It's fine.
Yeah.
We can do, like, Smith sequence with the mirror and everything.
It definitely opens up the number of possibilities for routing for both these runners. Schulzer choosing Thieves Town first. Does find a second Skullwood Small. It's not going to matter. Yeah,
it makes sense for Schulzer to do Thieves Town first here because he already did the South Dark World. So his route was Hype Cave to Dig Game, and then he just continues that route with Village of Outcasts up to Skullwoods, where Gamma's starting at Skullwoods, and he's going to move south and around down to Hype Cave. Gamma's route going to end up being more efficient, though, because he got the mitts at the top like that, and he'll be able to do Smith Sequence on the way to Hype Cave, where if Schulzer wants to do Smith Sequence, he has to come back for it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter too much. Schulzer will get a chance to do, after doing Skullwoods, will get a chance to do Graveyard Ledge into King's Tomb and Catfish.
Oh my god, Gamma's so bad at this game, you guys. Givdo's showing him who's in charge here. Alright, so Gamma is making the play immediately to go to Mothula. Unfortunately, without that tempered sword, so it'll be a rougher fight for sure, but not anything he can't handle. Boots are garbage placement. Yeah, it's not a super nice spot. I'm really surprised that Gamma didn't check that chest, because the only thing he found in front of Escape was the flippers, which were pretty bittersweet, right? Because he couldn't afford Zora. So I'm surprised he didn't take the opportunity to do one more check. Maybe it was rupees, right?
Yeah.
But it is kind of unfortunate to go to front of Escape, or sorry, to go to front of Aga Tower and only be able to do the first check and not the second one. So not the worst skip. All right, here goes Mothula. Yeah.
Gamma hopping in a Mothula fight.
It's 4 Master Sword spins or 8 Fire Rod shots. We're 2 spins in. There's a nice shot. Mothula loves the corners.
Yeah, getting stuck in behind where one of those traps fell out and just kind of bounced in between the 2 traps on the wall, but really well done by Gamma.
Yeah, nice fight. Got 3 spins, shot, and 1 swipe. Pretty good.
Meanwhile, Schulzer is heading to the basement of Thieves Town. We'll see what these keys pay off with down here. Nothing so far in Thieves Town of major note. That is something, though. That's a bow.
Where is Gamma going?
Oh, it's not going to walk through Skullwood. It's going to head back into Village Outcast this way.
Oh, did he already do the front of Skullwoods?
Yeah, that's where they found the mitts.
Oh, okay. I thought he went to the back first.
No, he went to the front first. Got those mitts out of.
So we're skipping Bumper Cave Graveyard Ledge then.
Correct. Which makes sense on Gamma's side. You're choosing.
Or is he going there now?
Maybe.
Yeah, he's just going there now. Okay, I don't know why he did that then. He could have just walked through the dungeon. But it's fine. I don't think it's a big time difference.
Yeah, I'm not really sure which one is faster.
It's probably like one's like 2 seconds faster if you have boost, and the other's 2 seconds faster if you don't. Something like that.
Just a compass on Bumper Ledge. Won't be getting that today. Very good blind fight for Schulzer. And
we are still not doing Graveyard Ledge. He walked all the way up just to check Bumper, but not going to Graveyard Ledge.
That I don't get.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't have the mitts, I could see it, because you have to go all the way around. It's really awful. But he has the mitts. It's not that bad, right?
Yeah, you could just check Graveyard Ledge and flute back to Kakariko.
He could even continue east from there and go do Catfish and his Orphan Zora check.
Yeah, he's got the cash for it.
And then flute back, because he's got mirror flute mitts. I don't know. Just Graveyard Ledge sucks, I guess. He wants to do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb at the same time. Yeah, I mean, it's fair to want to pair those together for sure. It's not as valuable, though, because King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks you can do from the Light World. And
Meanwhile, Schulzer is just straight up skipping Skullwood for the time being. Is going to do Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb combo.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the mitts yet. This is his only way to do King's Tomb. He can't do this from the Light World.
Right.
So it makes a lot more sense for him to get these checks in even first before going to Skull, which he can't full clear without the big key.
Yeah, maybe he gets lucky and gets enough money to Zora as well. That is something that is important at these that we missed in the first pass from Schulzer, that big key to Desert Palace.
I have this problem where I ignore everything in places that I know both runners are going to go. I only pay attention to like stuff that's out of the way. Yes, desert is full clearable with the mitts.
Desert is 100% in logic now.
Although Gamma can't get whatever's on the torch.
Correct. So Schulzer did do the Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb combo. Nothing in King's Tomb. He's going to now head into Skull Woods.
Yeah, good for Gamma. That skipping Graveyard Ledge isn't really going to matter. He might still go back there eventually. Yeah,
it's really like just a preference whether you want to do the way, like you said, the way Gamma came in from the north, sets up better, especially after finding the mid, sets up better to do Smith Chain out of this area of the world. Whereas Schulzer set up better to do the Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb. I thought he might carry it all the way to Catfish, but not having the Zora money kind of put that on the back burner.
Oh, you thought Schulzer would go to Catfish after King's Tomb?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If he was planning to do that, I think he would have done Skullwoods first. Because, we can kill the boss here at the very least. We can't do the big chest, but who cares?
Right.
So I think if he was going to go to Catfish, I think he'd do Skullwoods first and then continue east from there, Graveyard Ledge, and then continue on to Catfish. Oh, did we find a bow?
Yeah, a bow is in Maiden Chest.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, so Gamma will have the bow shortly. So Schulzer's going to pay off not having touched Eastern Palace, be able to do it all in one clear. The true blessing of AD keys.
Yeah, we did see the other bow on Floating Island, which both runners will have access to. Silvers are definitely nice to have. Maybe not something you're going to climb the mountain just for, but we'll definitely grab them before the end of the seed.
Yeah, you're going to be up there anyway, so. While our runners are trading spaces, this reminds you this is game one of a double header. Game two will be shortly after the completion of this one. Both our runners will get a chance to take a break, stretch it out, and prepare themselves for the same settings in game two, the open 80 keys, no boot start. How do you feel about doing double headers in tournament races, Koi?
I don't think it would stress me out, but I do that all day long, play seeds back to back. But I think most people are used to having a bit of a reprieve between races.
And with that Tempered Sword, much quicker, not that much quicker actually than Gamma.
It was a bit quicker, yeah.
A little bit quicker, but not.
It's not impossibly slow. It's not like Gamma automatically loses because his Mothula fight was slightly slower, but
no,
it matters. It's something. And Schulzer is out of there. All right, so this is significant because Game is going to be doing Smith sequence here with his Southern Dark World checks because he has the equipment already, where Schulzer is moving on to other things.
Get our first look at the Mire area, find out what medallion we need, and then do some Desert Palace.
Looks like Quake.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
small. That's an important one.
Maybe wanted to find the hookshot first, but I'll take it. Gamma does pick up that tempered sword. We're on even power. Also want to keep in mind what's on the torch here in Desert Palace, because this is likely a play that Gamma's going to do pretty quick after he finishes Southern Dark World. But he will not be able to grab this check.
Oh, no.
Required.
The key is on the doormat this time.
This matters. Okay, we still don't have the cane. We don't have the cane for Mire, but we do have that big key, so Schulzer's probably not going to go right into Mire. Especially with Eastern being available. But definitely something that Gamma will have to get eventually.
There's one small to Misery Mire. The two left Firelock checks are logically locked behind all three smalls. Not really important in terms of actually getting them, but keeping track of what's logically available and what isn't can be important at times.
Bombos medallion on the Smiths. This could also matter because Smith sequence is going to be a lot more difficult for Schulzer to route in.
Yeah, Schulzer doesn't really have a reason to head back into Village Outcast area to do anything other than that Smith chain right now.
Yeah, no, that's and Graveyard Ledge, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe finding a bottle would help push him back over there. We don't even know if Bombos is required or not. We don't know what the Turtle Rock medallion is yet.
When Schulzer does Smith sequence, it will be because he went to go do Smith sequence only for itself.
Right.
And because Smith sequence kind of blows, that might be a while. Mire's definitely not like the worst place in the world to go. Like, if the only thing you can't do is the boss, because it's a really quick trip to the boss once you're in there the second time, right? You don't stand to lose that much time.
Yeah, and having this one small key now makes routing Mire much quicker, too.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just thinking, like, because we can full clear Eastern. Like, Eastern is just straight up, we can do absolutely everything in there. So Eastern just looks like, oh, never mind, there's the cane. Okay, guys, let's go to Mire.
All right. Both keys were sitting under the doormat today.
It's Mire time. Yeah, Mire's just very clearly.
Yeah, you just have to while you're here. And we get to the pleasure of seeing Schulzer's the camera on our restream, and it looks like a man who is very excited to go into Misery Mire. If 300 rupees wasn't going to get it, Schulzer.
Are we not going Mire? We're not going Mire? You're not going to get silvers before Mire. You have the cape.
Yeah, you get a cape. You have a lamp. You have everything you could possibly want from Mire.
I don't know. I guess, I mean, there's value in coming up here, right? Because we can get Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. Check the medallion for Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why he would do this before Mire, which is right in front of him and full clearable, unless he was doing this specifically for silvers. But why would he need silvers? He's got plenty of equipment for Vitreous. It's Schulzer, right? Like,
right, exactly.
Like, he doesn't need the silvers. It doesn't care. I don't understand this play. Does Schulzer hover? Do we know?
I don't know if he hovers or not.
I mean, this makes a bit more sense if you can hover, because like Hookshot Cave is not a big orphan. And Quake is the required medallion for both Turtle Rock and Misery Mire.
So you can get a fair bit of Turtle Rock cleared while we're up here too, if you choose to.
Yeah, it's such a. Why would you do that though, right? If
why would you do that to yourself? Yeah, stop hurting yourself, Schulzer.
Like that's the kind of thing you do when you're like, all right, man, I'm out of really good options, so this play doesn't completely suck. But like he has plays that are really good.
Yeah, we got
full clearable
Eastern Palace, a full clearable Mire, a Palace of Darkness that you don't have big key for. Maybe like
we can kill Cold Stare even.
Yeah,
we do half of Swamp. That's not. Okay, that is the worst. But
yeah, I'd rather dip Turtle Rock than do that.
It's not worse than Mire though. All right, let's see if he hovers.
That is not the movement of someone who hovers. So
yeah, he's not hovering. And I gotta think like the main thing he wanted was to see what medallion was needed, because he is pretty close to go mode at this point. Just a few items away, so you wanting to know if it's like one more or not is important, and silvers are kind of a bonus, I guess. Are we doing Spike Cave or are we going to Turtle Rock? Okay, I no longer understand anything that's happening in this seed. Why would you do Turtle Rock?
Yeah, I can see hopping in here if you just needed a small key to beat the dungeon. Like, how often is there a small key to Turtle Rock in Turtle Rock? Schulzer forgetting no hook shot.
At least he remembered before the loop-de-loop.
Also needing this ice rod to beat Turtle Rock, like, very unlikely to find both the small key and the ice rod in here, so you're just coming in here for items. Also, this is a pendant, so that ice rod could be anywhere.
Yeah. Alright, what do we need for go mode? Exactly.
We need an ice rod, we need a hook shot. We need...
TR small.
A TR small, a pod big, and a GT big. And 2 Aghanim Tower keys.
Okay, that's actually a lot of things.
Yeah.
I thought we were closer than that. Okay, that just makes this make even less sense.
Yeah, I would certainly be in a position to do dungeons I could full clear and never see again.
Yeah, unfortunately, Gamma is not able to do Mire at all because he can't grab that Quake Medallion. And then, as it's pointed out in chat, even if he had the Quake Medallion, he still couldn't go to it because he can't get past the first room.
Right.
One thing he can do, though, is full clear Eastern, which I think is only 2 checks for him, but hey, at least it's a crystal.
Yeah, and while you're there, you get to hop in a pod and 3 small keys. You can do most of pod. Yeah, this just makes even less sense for Schulzer. Having not touched Eastern Palace, that's 6 checks there, plus 9 checks you can do in pod, 10 checks you can do in pod with 3 keys.
I don't know if I like the idea of Gamma going up the mountain right now, because he can't do anything in Hookshot Cave, and like even if he can open TR, which we know he can't, he wouldn't be able to do all that much in there. He's going Ice Palace though. Okay.
This is reasonable.
Yeah, it's reasonable. I would have liked to see him do Eastern first, just because he's not going to orphan anything in there. But where here you can't do the big chest.
Right, but he's
and
only
you don't
got
have a
one. He's
small
got
key,
one
too.
check left in Eastern. He already had the big key.
This dungeon is kind of blah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it only one check left?
Yeah,
in
he had the
Eastern?
big key going in, so he's all he has left is the boss.
Yeah, it's not very good. I mean, I guess he'd pair it with Pod, but yeah, Pod's not is not really better than Ice at this point. What we really want to see from Gamma is for him to go to front of Escape. Or not front of Escape, but go to Pyramid and then mirror over to Aga Tower, but Ice is better than that. Right.
Yeah.
Gamma hits that switch in advance because he doesn't have the big key and will need to skip the big key door. And this is last in logic check for Schulzer, just a red boom, but he'll continue on to Laser Bridge.
He made the big gamer play of not touching the lava door.
He does have a nice opportunity to save scum that chest after Laser Bridge, if he chooses to take it. You can just mirror back to the big chest, Death Warp, and then like just a bonk across or whatever, and get over to the lava chest door. Small key to this dungeon. Hey, that's nice, actually. In Ice Palace.
That's really nice. Now you can do good routing in Ice Palace. Go to Ice Tea first.
Yeah, he doesn't need the key to do everything that he can do in this dungeon, but it does make routing a lot nicer. And Laser Bridge does have a big key to Ganon's Tower. Important, we need that, but not that big a deal, because like that's certainly a place we're going to see Gammachuu go. I don't know. It really matters if it's like Ice Rod up the climb or something.
Right. All right, time for Mire play finally. Got those silvers. Schulzer's feeling a-okay.
I still think it's weird as heck he didn't do this first.
I agree.
It's just so weird.
Our last sword in the freezer room of Ice Palace.
If it was some other player, maybe I would think like, oh well, he just doesn't want to fight Vitreous because he only has like 6 hearts and green mail. But like, I don't think that was the case here at all. I don't think he was even slightly worried about it.
Schulzer with some nice lag reduction strats, turning off those silver arrows.
That's funny. He went and go get the silvers and immediately turns them off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get out of here, silvers. Nobody likes you.
Chat reminding us that Schulzer also just straight up passed on the heart container earlier too. That was
Oh yeah, that's true.
2 tiles away from him.
All right. Well, Gamma tried to hug the cold stairs. They didn't appreciate it, but he does kill them before they show him how much they don't appreciate it.
Nice kill on iBoss number 1, 2, 3. There's so many iBosses in this game.
Do we find anything super significant? I know we got the sword and the ice key, but none of those doesn't really matter.
I don't think we had anything other than that butter sword, that gold sword.
All right, so ice is kind of a bust here. Hopefully we'll never have to come back, but the big chest is orphaned.
That big chest just doesn't exist to Gamma. Goodbye forever.
Looks like Gamma's going after Potty's turn here.
Yeah, really the only play left from his perspective.
Yeah, I mean, he could still like walk up to Turtle Rock and see if it's Bombos or not. But yeah, I like Pot Eastern here better.
Shovel for Schulzer in Mire. Haven't really seen anything else in this dungeon though for him.
Schulzer down to 1 heart. Be careful. And we don't have any bottles.
Yeah, no bottles. Do have the cape and burn it for safeties. Did Gamma turn in that mushroom?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. So neither runner has this mushroom still for potential powder shenanigans.
I don't anticipate Schulzer to run into any troubles, but he's going to make sure he doesn't by using the Cannon Burner there.
Now let's see if Schulzer is a real gamer, remembers to turn those silvers back on. There we go. Schulzer skipped the cutscene chest.
Did he?
Launch it without those 3 small keys, but
yeah, but who cares?
I can't imagine not doing it while you're here. Considering, I mean, I guess Schulzer does have more to do in the world, but you know, never want to come back to Mire for that check.
He's been playing aggressively the whole seed, to be honest. Like with the early play, like he did mini Moldorm Cave, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna skip everything that's even slightly inconvenient and go straight to Hera Basement. So, I bet he feels behind just because of that.
Oh, potentially. Although with where the boots are located, like you have to think your opponent, decent chance they haven't gotten those.
Really? I mean, I would have always have forever done that check. Always and forever. In all situations. No matter what. I'm more surprised that Gamma didn't do it, if anything. Also, why is Gamma doing this before Eastern?
Because there's only 1 check in Eastern.
Yeah, but what if it's the pod big
That would be fun. That would be hilarious.
It's like, it's not like you're gonna find something in here to make Eastern better, right? I guess he can find the boots, but like we know he won't. It just seems unusual. It probably won't matter at all. So after this ends up being nothing, where does Gamma go next, right?
He
still has Gamma the walk up to Turtle Rock plan.
Yeah, if he could walk up to Turtle Rock, he could dip Swamp.
Yeah, the Swamp's looking better and better.
There's also Catfish Zora.
Yeah, I think he might do that after this, just because he's already on East Arc World. Like, it's not actually slower to walk to the pyramid from Pod than from Flute Spot 5. And he knows he can route in at least the first chest of Aga Tower. It's just, man, to put it off for that long and to still do it without even 1 key is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like if he gets a Castle Tower key here, he definitely does that next. But if he doesn't, then there's no telling what he's going to choose to do.
Pod felt really empty. Did see a Mire small key, locked in behind all 6 Pod smalls. So we're looking at that Mire cutscene chest, or Swamp Palace, or Zora. Zora Catfish having the next breadcrumb.
Does it really matter that it's behind all those keys though? Because like the Mire keys, like when we talk about sequence breaking, like oftentimes we want to keep track of sequence breaking because we want to go back and get the items that we sequence broke, right? Like I fake flippered to the mirror, so I want to keep in mind that the mirror is not going to lead to the flippers later when I need to find those flippers. But if we're sequence breaking Mire keys, I don't care where the Mire keys are, right?
Exactly.
Like it's important to keep in mind in case we find Mire keys locked by an item we don't have later. But I don't think it's something that will dictate how you route the game, right?
No.
Like I don't think skipping cutscene chests because you don't have enough Mire keys makes sense. Skipping it because it's super slow makes sense.
Yeah, and that's certainly why you skipped it, is because just trying to play more aggressively and didn't want to take 30 plus seconds to check one location in the Mire.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to skip anything, like that's one of the ones you want to skip for sure. I hope this isn't the pod big key, but it would be really funny if it was.
Yeah, it'd be a very, very big feel bad for Gammachuu if this is the pod big.
It's that weird problem where you want bad things to happen because it's more entertaining, but you also don't want them to happen because you like the people they're happening to.
It's a small key.
Oh, it's a pod. We can do one more check in pod if we want to. Kind of a pain to save scum it though.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, he does return to the Dark World and is going into pod. Okay.
Yeah, this is choosing to do this now is a bit of a feel bad for sure for Gamma.
Not setting up a death warp. So that is no saves coming here. This key is gone forever.
Yeah, he'll have to find one more small key to beat pod once he finds that big key.
Quest.
I was expecting to hear, is this even randomized?
Oh, we're doing it. Okay, we're going to pyramid. This is fantastic. So unless Gamma just straight up forgets about Aga Tower, which is not too uncommon.
Yeah, you have Dark World access. What do you need to go to Aga Tower for? It's just that's the extra dungeon after you get on with GT, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much practicing he does, but like oftentimes people talk about like, oh, I need to practice this mode. It's not because they need to figure out how the mode works. It's because they have to change a bunch of their muscle memories. You know, like I need to play more entrance, so I keep remembering to mirror to the race game and stuff like that, right?
Exactly.
Or I got to play more inverted because I keep forgetting you can do Smiths this early. Wow, Schulzer just immediately spends that key too. All right, here's the Aga Tower mirror.
Yep. So this will be boots for Gamma.
Yeah, which he already knows leads to the Quake Medallion, which leads to a full clear of Mire.
Yeah, so almost certainly going back to Desert after this.
What does Schulzer do after pod? That is a fantastic question. Ice?
My guess is...
Probably ice.
Probably ice is a dungeon you can beat. We know there's nothing there, but that's another crystal you can take off the map for Schulzer. I think both our runners are going to probably end up in Swamp about the same time.
Gamma finding out why mirroring on the right side is bad.
And this is going to be a continuation on to Catfish and Zora. Two checks we haven't seen from either runner yet.
Well, something good on Catfish would be pretty fantastic for Gammachuu because these two checks, Pyramid and Catfish, are much less desirable for Schulzer.
Yeah, absolutely. Schulzer's not going to have a good opportunity after... if he doesn't do it immediately after leaving pod, he's just never going to have a good opportunity to.
Just a map.
There is a Harabig, so that is one thing we found in Palace of Darkness that is, at this point, actually pretty valuable. We don't have that hookshot yet, so we can't bypass that Harabig key. That will give Gammachuu more incentive to go up the mountain instead of to swamp after doing Mire.
Yeah, plus, you know, he'll have 2 medallions now for Turtle Rock. So much higher chance of being able to do that.
Correct.
Small key on Zora. It's the 5th mod. Well, I mean, it's really good that Gammachuu found that, because he definitely wanted to find that before this seed ended. And Schulzer is out of there. No pyramid catfish for this guy.
I find it really interesting that Gamma's choosing this over Mire, knowing that there's a medallion in desert and Mire's full clearable.
I mean, like, our runners are not perfect. They are very, 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 very good, but they're not perfect. It is possible that he didn't remember about Quake fast enough. Oftentimes, like, even if it's not something he just straight up forgot, he might have already made the decision to go here and then remembered while he's walking up to Hera, oh yeah, well, I guess I'll do that after. I mean, everyone's done that.
Oh, for sure.
But I agree
I do that at least like once a week.
It would make more sense for him to go take care of getting Quake and full clearing Mire before coming up here. And we're pretty much synced for some reason. But with Schulzer in a pretty clear lead right now. But not by as much as you might think, to be honest.
Yeah, Gamma does have Mire to complete. If something's in cutscene chest, this will swap quickly into Gamma's direction. Nice bomb jumps executed by both runners. That one always terrifies me.
Oh, the bomb jump in Hera?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's not any easier or harder than other bomb jumps, but the punish for failure is so much higher.
That's our third Turtle Rock Small. That's
Ooh,
all we need for completing the dungeon.
Yeah, nice to have. Oh, I guess Schulzer couldn't have save scummed the cutscene or the lava chest then.
No, not
right, because he only had 2 keys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's something Gamma would be able to do. We know that the ice rod's not going to be over here, so he finishes laser bridge and he's got 1 key left over. I could see him save scumming the lava chest.
Well, he can't get in because there's him quick.
Oh, right, because he didn't go to desert first. Oh, Gamma.
We'll get a spike cave check out of Schulzer.
Can Gammachuu hover? I don't believe Gamma hovers. There are a lot of really fantastic runners who can hover, and some of them can even do it well. But there are just as many, if not more, that are able to garner success in the racing community without being able to hover. And Gamma is one of those, for sure.
Spike Cave only having a shield upgrade. And going back to Turtle Rock, there's a shovel we found in there. Let's see what it pays out with.
Come on, Ice Rock.
That's potentially an ice rod.
To full clear GT, we'll want 2 small keys. Of course, we don't really want a full clear GT.
No, we don't.
If we can help it, but we're probably gonna have to full clear GT.
Yeah, with Swamp and Turtle Rock being pendants, the hookshot and the ice rod can both be in a lot of places in GT.
All right, here's Quake Medallion for Gamma. Meanwhile, Schulzer going into Skull for that big chest, and then I would assume over to Graveyard Ledge, which he skipped earlier. But I don't like to assume with these guys because I'm always wrong. Hey, our first bottle.
Our first bottle at an hour 6.
Or was it Gamma to skip Graveyard Ledge? Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, it was Gamma. Never mind.
Yes.
That's right, because Schulzer had the boots. We did it with Kingstoon.
Right. Yep. Gamma picking up his Quake. On to Mire. And Schulzer gonna do Smith Chain now that he's in the area. Should also remember to turn in that bottle and see what Sick Kid has. At this point, we need that hook shot with that ice rod and a pod big. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, Castle Tower keys.
Oh, and the Castle Tower keys, that's right.
Can't forget 2 Castle Tower keys. That's good. We'll just get those in GT later. It's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I do that all the time. I can't imagine. Like, there's been so many key sanity seeds where I started go-moding stuff. And then after skipping, like, everything in Mire, I'm like, oh, yeah, I still need Castle Tower keys. Are we doing cutscene? Gamma?
Looks like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Lazy Kid having another bottle.
Cute. Yeah, he did the outside check first. Usually that's cutscene. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. That's to be Ice Palace for Schulzer.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Of all the things available to him, this is the one that sucks the least.
Definitely.
I mean, you'd want to put it off for the big key for sure, if you could. And if barring that, you'd want to wait for a small key for the routing. But it's still better than Swamp without the hook shot.
Oh no.
Speaking of...
Oh no.
Okay, guys, you remember how, like, early in the seed when Schulzer found the boots and we were like, oh, this is really bad for Gamma? It didn't matter. Sorry. It really didn't matter. Nothing matters except for this hook shot. This is the only thing in the entire seed with any value. And Gamma just found it.
Oh my goodness. Hook
Holy
shot
moly.
and cutscene chest.
Oh, why did he skip it, though? I don't understand. And he put off Mire first, too, right? Like, he went to Mountain and Turtle Rock first.
He went to the
and
mountain.
Then he goes to the mountain, he doesn't find anything, like, super great. And then he goes to Mire and still doesn't find anything super great, but still skips the cutscene chest. You'd think, like, that would have been a reason to go for it.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is, I mean, it's not over yet. I was just meaning, it's not over yet. We still don't have 2 Castle Tower keys, and that absolutely matters.
Yes.
But this is a really big get for Gammachuu, like huge, because Schulzer has completely orphaned this check. He will not be going back for cutscene chest until he goes back for cutscene chest. There's nothing to group it with anymore.
Yeah, I am certain that will be... I can't imagine Schulzer not last locationing that. At this point, I'm not even sure how many checks we have left that just the front of Swamp that are available and not locked by the hookshot.
I guess at this point, it really matters where the pod big is going to be. Like if that's hookshot locked or not. But Swamp's on the horizon for both of our runners.
Yep, absolutely.
Like that's common. Maybe a little sooner for Gammachuu.
Yeah, Gammachuu's going to head directly to Swamp. I can't imagine Schulzer doesn't have much to do other than Swamp or go to Mire cutscene chest. So I can't imagine Schulzer goes anywhere other than Swamp after this either. Schulzer getting a little hug from Cold Stare.
Yeah, Gamma did the same thing. And they both had Butter Sword. I think it's just nerves. Why is Gamma ahead in routing? What did he skip that Schulzer didn't? That Schulzer did? Because he shouldn't be ahead, right? Because he was missing boots for like an hour.
Gamma did not do Turtle Rock at all.
Oh, he skipped TR. Okay, right. Okay, that makes more sense.
That's where the catch up has been.
Because Schulzer should be ahead in overall checks because Correct. He got the boots like way earlier and had the more efficient Quake routing.
There's six pods small.
Yeah, 6 pods, nice.
Schulzer about to pick up his 5th pod small. None of that matters until we find that big key, though. Oh, yeah, Gamma didn't even have the option of skipping TR. He didn't have Quake going up there. So that's where that quote-unquote bad... It was bad Quake routing, but it actually has paid off for him.
Well, until there's something good in Hookshot Cave. Ice route and Hookshot Cave, right? Alright, here's Swamp from Schulzer. He might go to Pyramid, I guess, but probably Swamp. Yeah, there it is. And Gamma just going to do immediate left side. Makes sense in Key Sanity when you're missing like a bunch of things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been too surprised to see him try to skip it at least. And like if you find something good in the back, then to not come here. Because it is a pretty significant time investment to go to left side spawn. But in Key Sanity, it's guaranteed to be 2 items. Like there's no one item in a map or anything like that.
Yeah.
And we are missing like 3 things for Goma.
4 things.
4 things?
4 things. So yeah, 2 Kestar Smalls, Pod Big, and Ice Rod.
Forgot the Ice Rod.
Everyone forgets the ice rod.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just in GT, right?
Probably.
Schulzer did skip. I don't know if he skipped Harmless Hellway.
I don't remember. He's only got 2 Mire Smalls, so he probably did.
No, Harmless Hellway in Pod.
Yeah, the third Mire key was there.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes more sense.
So we have a Castle Tower small key on the left side.
That's good. Left side is hard required. We'll see if Schulzer tries to skip this.
I mean, Schulzer can't go to the back, so he's definitely going to do the left side checks.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot.
There's the pod big. Also pre-hook shot.
Yeah, that means GT,
that's worse news for Schulzer.
GT is available. We're going to see GT before the cutscene chest. Of course, Schulzer knows that he needs more keys before GT's in logic, right? Like the ice big, I guess, is one for sure. And he skips left side.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god!
Hey, at least he's been consistent all season in terms of his aggressive gameplay.
Yeah, he has played very aggressively. Which oftentimes results in success, right? Like that. There's a reason he's this far in the tournament. He plays like this often, and it works. Just not right this second is all.
Right. All right, time for another iBoss.
Whiff.
Gamma's gonna have to spend a week at the archery game.
Whiff. There he goes. Okay.
Gamma's gonna have to go back to the archery game.
Everyone Gamma's ever raced before is now seething. I lost to this guy? All right, nothing else to do. Gamma headed after Pod, just like Schulzer, to get his final crystal, so we can make our way to GT. So Schulzer does pick up that last Mire key like you were talking about, so he knows the cutscenes in logic now, I guess.
He knows it's in logic, but I guess...
I mean, at this point, you just assume it's like the ice big, right? Like, you just assume that, oh, that's just going to be the key that puts GT in logic.
Right.
So you don't mind going to GT. Where is the ice big, anyway?
Probably on Helma. Or in Hookshot Cave.
Oh, yeah, Hookshot Cave. Oh, Pyramid Fairy's a thing, yeah. We don't even know where the other red is because nobody menus anymore. But this is our second red crystal, we know for sure.
Schulzer will not be needing to spend some time at the archer game. Gets Helmstar King down with 1 silver. And that would be crystal number 7.
A second Castle Tower key. Although it's only Schulzer's first.
That's kind of terrible news for Schulzer.
Yeah, it's not really good. So we need GT Big? Where was that?
No, we just need... GT Big was in Turtle Rock.
Okay, so Gamma's going to find that.
Yeah, we just need Ice Rod at this point.
Yeah.
Congratulations, it's 80 keys, but it's still an Ice Rod hunt.
Yeah, so if Gamma finds the Ice Rod just in the basement of GT, then he gets to have like a single dip of Turtle Rock. There is a world where like the Ice Rod's in the Gauntlet or something, and he's gonna full clear GT and then go to TR and then go back to GT and then go back to TR. But not as likely. And we are getting Pyramid Fairy, likely into the second chest of Castle Tower.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the best place for Ice Rod, is one of these 2 locations for Schulzer. I think Gamma's more likely to go up the mountain than to check this.
Alright, Gamma's going to full clear GT, and then he's going to full clear TR before he ever goes to these overworld checks.
Nice dupe by Schulzer.
I don't know why Schulzer's doing this, though, over GT.
Neither of those are an Ice Rod.
Maybe just thinking like, okay, well, if I don't do Castle Tower now, I'm not going to do it until after I've full cleared GT. Just hoping to find what he needs, I guess. And I mean, maybe he doesn't know the bouncer can't hover, and then climbing GT is just the worst thing in the world.
Right.
He probably knows the bounce, though. Even if he doesn't hover. Most people at this caliber have some way of doing that. He is able to bounce. Okay. I'm sure he doesn't want to bounce, though. Nobody wants to bounce.
So none of these 3 checks in the Hyrule Castle area were the Ice Rod. I guess this is going to be a catfish play, Catfish Zora, finally from Schulzer.
And here's our catfish, or our hookshot cave checks. Okay, sure.
Cool.
And there's the ice big, yeah. All right, the GT is now completely in logic. He has to know Hook locks GT, does he?
He will after these 2 checks.
All right, because all he has left is Hookshot Cave.
It's heading to GT.
Yeah, I don't know. Did we find both ice smalls? We only saw the one, right?
I think we've only seen the one ice small so far. So Ice Pal is super hookshot locked.
Oh, he didn't go to Zora. You're right.
Oh, I guess he had already done Zora. Okay.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Oh, we got the ice rod. It's all over, folks. It's all over. Okay, unfortunately, Gamma's still missing the big key for GT.
Yeah,
So
it's going
he's
to full
not-
clear the
he's
entire
not leaving.
basement. Maybe not child room, but everything else.
Well, I mean, I think he'll at least go until he finds a turtle rock key. Like, if you find a turtle rock key, then you run over and do TR, and then you come back, right? At least it would make sense to do it.
Even sitting on 3? Like, the 4th one is just insurance, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Well, he's gonna do it on 3. Okay. Well, this will work out for him. He won't full clear GT now. But this is kind of doom for Schulzer.
Yes, it is.
There's not really any way to come back now. All right, so clearly the secret to this seed is to put off getting the boots for a very long time.
Yes, that's definitely the
I'm gonna
secret
try that. I'm gonna
seed.
try that in my next 80 keys seed. See how it works out.
The next spoiler log seed you do. You're like, boots? Nah. Ice Rod just sitting up in Hope Chest, too. Don't even have to dig for it.
Schulzer threw away an easy win. I think that's too harsh. I think it's too harsh. He made some plays and they certainly didn't work out, but I don't think he threw it.
Yeah, had Schulzer been thorough through most of the seed and then just skip cutscene chests, that would feel very weird. But Schulzer he'd been very aggressive all seed long in terms of the decisions he's made.
Yeah, it wasn't just this one moment where he did something out of character.
The nice thing digging for a hookshot is you're not going to make too many checks in here. He's going to have a decision whether he wants to climb or not, but only a couple more checks can you make in the basement.
Did his early aggression really pay out, though? Like, I didn't really think going to the first chest of Aka Tower was aggressive. Like, that was the thorough play, right? That was the thing I expected Gamma to do, but he didn't.
Right.
And nothing else really worked out super well. Like Hair Basement, which was his very first aggression play, was kind of bleh.
Yeah, I mean, the seed needed you to go to Sarasala before heading up the mountain. So Schulzer lost a climb there. Yeah, it was pretty much just that. Why would you be bomb jumping here?
He still needs
Castle Tower key.
Yeah,
that's right. Which is on left side swamp, which is accessible without the hookshot. At some point in this siege, Schulzer began to feel like, at least from my perspective, at some point in this siege, Schulzer began to feel like he was behind, and
I think he's probably felt like that since Hair Basement.
Yeah, and when you feel like that, you have to cut corners somewhere, because if you're doing the same amount of checks as your opponent, and everyone at this level, every one of the runners in the quarterfinals here is of the highest caliber of execution.
Yeah, I think it's really unfortunate that he cut so many corners and so many of them ended up being important.
Yeah,
because like usually there are some important corners that people try to cut and you go back for them, but this is like multiple corners in different places. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't fault him for going to GT.
Yeah.
Like, you've already skipped those checks. You have to just assume that that's just logical GT access in those. And move past it and hope that the ice keys don't burn you.
There is the GT big, and that is go mode for Gammachuu.
Go mode. The one thing I don't understand, though, is why Schulzer did Pyramid Fairy and Catfish before GT.
Yeah, that one feels a little bit odd. Maybe it's just...
Because, like I think it makes more sense to just assume that all the checks you've skipped up to this point are not important and move on to GT versus just going straight to...
Right.
To, like, some of those and then going to GT. So we do find an ice key in Ganon's tower. I don't know what that means for hookshot logic.
The big chest is accessible, so the big key is still hookshot locked. But that small key...
Right. Well, I mean, from his point of view, if he assumes that the Ice Palace big key is just like left side swamp or something.
Right.
Hold on, I have a spreadsheet that tells me all this stuff. Okay, so if we consider the big key accessible and then the small key was on the right side. That's right?
Yeah. The small key in Ice Palace was in...
Okay, yeah. So if the big key is accessible, the small key is on the right side, and the other small key is inaccessible, that means that the right side was hookshot locked. So finding that small key in Ganon's tower means that the hookshot can't be there. Of course, you have to be some kind of like math genius, you know, like Einstein level.
you gotta be the guy on CNN with the maps on election day, just pointing out, oh, this key's here.
Yeah, you ever see that movie A Beautiful Mind? That guy. To even understand this in the middle of a race.
I think a lot of rando runners would do better reading John Nash than and certainly watching me run, but cutscene chest here for Schulzer. We're gonna get the bad news.
I think he already has the bad news. I think he comes here and he finds the hookshot and he's like, okay, well, at least I know what happened now. Except he doesn't really know what happened because he doesn't know about the castle tower key yet.
Right.
Yeah, so we can see his camera. He finds the hookshot. He's just nodding vigorously. Everything makes sense again.
Yeah, it's the look of a man who's very happy to find a hookshot.
I think he's pretty confident that the race is not going to be going his way. But you know, it's nice to be able to close the loop, you know, to solve the puzzle at the end, even if you don't win the race. And as long as Gamma hasn't finished, you know, there's still hope. We're probably not doing interviews, right? Since it's back-to-back.
Probably not. We'll find out if any of the runners want to talk about this between games or not, but I would be surprised.
Well, I mean, if I'm Schulzer, I don't want to talk about this either
Absolutely
way.
Absolutely not.
Let's just put this behind me. Move on.
Gamma almost had a bad time there.
Sub 140, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, not with a full Aghanim's Tower climb on top of this.
Yeah, Aga Tower, even on this equipment, is still going to be like 4 minutes. And then Ganon, like perfect Ganon, you're looking at 90 seconds. Oh, we're doing left side before the back.
Yeah.
Not sure why.
Me neither. I would just complete this dungeon and then come back in.
I think he's just conceited at this point.
Yeah.
If he's doing this.
Double, triple for Gammachuu. So
the dream.
Aghanim 2 is wanting him to get a sub 140. It's not going to happen, but Aghanim 2 has it in the bookie sheets.
If it was just Ganon, he could totally do this, but he's got to still do Castle Tower. In case Gamma skip left side swamp. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. Like, because if you get the hookshot, maybe you do skip left side swamp. I mean, well, I expected Gamma to at least attempt to skip left side swamp, and he didn't. So yeah, I mean, from his point of view, left side swamp is an out. It's something, maybe my opponent skipped this, and everything else doesn't matter, and this is the only thing that matters. Of course, he doesn't know what we know.
Yeah, and even if that is the out, you just can't feel good having already been here once and chosen not to do it when you didn't even have the hookshot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knows that he's probably behind. But that was a go mode item for Schulzer, the Castle Tower small key.
Yep.
So you'll see him skip checks now.
He still has a Turtle Rock to finish too.
Yep. Yeah, Gamma's routing led to that single dip of TR.
Yeah, the late boots kind of somehow helping Gamma here, not ever dipping into Turtle Rock without being able to full clear it. Schulzer showing off that EU aim. Gamma will get the victory, but Schulzer will have only used one arrow on Argus instead of 10. Aghanim 1 did not have the 140 bet with the bookies.
It's an older meme, but it checks out.
Definitely checks out. No 0, no 15. I just, I don't know if I should care about this Aghanim anymore.
Aga, please. Oh my god. This is the Aga that never ends. Wow. I lost count. How many are we at?
That's 5 right now.
5. Okay, there you go.
I don't know if Gamma is the kind of runner to have the race room open at this point. It's so close to the end, you might. It's got to feel agonizing. You're sitting here in this Aghanim fight, after 4 or 5 blue balls, and there's still no dot done.
Well, it's like 140. So
It is a very fast seed, but
I think you're feeling pretty good about a 140 80 keys. It's not the fastest 80 keys ever, but it's way faster than normal. Don't walk directly into the pig. Gamma using his health as a resource.
why have 14 hearts if you're not going to use them all?
Good point. And that's the triple setup. Boom, boom, boom. Nice.
Well, so well done. Get those GGs in chat. Gammachuu will cross this bridge and take game 1 in this best of 3 series.
GG.
1 hour, 42 minutes, 12 seconds. Gammachuu picking up the game 1 victory. And we'll let these runners grab some water, grab some air, and re-rack things for game 2 here in just a little bit.
Yeah, their second race will occur after this one. I do not know if Schulzer plans to play it out, though. He hasn't forfeit yet, so it looks like he will be playing it out. But just GT and Agatower left for Schulzer.
Yep, and
wait,
we'll just be able to head straight up. So,
oh no, he did just forfeit. Yeah,
probably just brought the timer up heading to GT. Like, oh,
just wanted to take care of that dumb turtle real quick.
So,
all right, but yeah, that'll do it for race 1. Gammachuu takes a 1-0 victory over Schulzer, 1-0 lead. But this is a best of 3. Schulzer will have a chance to answer.
Yep. Both runners are going to take a break, and we'll take a break as well. I'm going to step out of the booth. Coy, you're staying, though.
Yeah, I will be calming game 2 as well with Tracy, I think.
Yeah, Tracy M will be in the booth for game 2. It has been a pleasure for me. We'll let everyone grab lunch, grab dinner to where you're at, grab a beverage, walk it out a bit, and we'll be back here in a few minutes for game 2.
All right, nice comment with you. I don't know what the procedure is here. I think I'm still on the stream, so I'm going to talk to you guys. How's it going, chat? What's going on? Everyone having a wonderful Friday. You guys tried out the Festive yet? Festive, very fun. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it is pretty much the best game mode of all time, and everyone should play it with all the settings turned on. And the best way to play it is as an 80 keys seed as well. So make sure you turn on all dungeons and key sanity, and then all of the new settings. What could go wrong? Unfortunately, you can't do entrance shuffle with the festive rando. It's not an available setting. explain what inverted is. Inverted is a game mode that they came up with for randomizer that inverts the world so that the dark world and the light world are swapped. So it's just like a flip of the game. So you start in the dark world and you find the mirror to move from the light world to the dark world instead of vice versa. And some of the mirror lock checks are changed so they're more accessible. And some checks that weren't mirror locked become mirror locked. It's just a different way to play the game, but still the same randomizer experience. I don't know why anybody would choose to play it, but some people like it, I guess. Gamma never found a bottle. Where were all the bottles in this seed? I guess in GT. Skull Big. Oh yeah, Sick Kid had a bottle lock bottle. That's right. Yeah, oftentimes inverted is a lot more dangerous in the beginning. Players often like to pair it with Key Sanity because it reduces the chance that you're going to have to like fight Mothula with Fighter Sword and 3 hearts or something. Oh, I'm getting the go-ahead. I don't have to talk to you people anymore. Thank goodness. We're going to put the stream on break, and we will be back afterwards with the second match between Gammachuu and Schulzer. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you then.